All right, Griff, thank you very much. The New York Post knows about that because they wound up getting copies of things from that man over there, Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal attorney and former mayor of New York City. Mayor, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing okay. We're just sorting through these many new emails. There's plenty to go through, including as
oh my gosh, about 10,000 more. Yeah.
Well, you would know because you've got them. Griff was just talking about how it sounded like Hunter was trying to get a deal with a Chinese energy firm, and then in another one back in 2017 sent by Robert Biden, and we should say that is what these are believed, involves a deal where it appears Hunter is asking for $10 million a year. It seems as you are the source of these email, right?
Well, not really. The source of the email is a merchant, a guy who repairs hard drives that Hunter Biden left it off with. He's actually been interviewed by the press and affirmed that. He had them for quite some time, and he actually turned them over because the FBI had them for 6 months and done nothing with them. And then he was quite upset with the coverage, the kind of coverage you're describing tonight, about how this morning rather, about how unfair it was. He happens to be a fan of mine, unlike Biden's attorney, and thought I was being treated very unfairly.
Yeah,
so he called my lawyer, and he said, I have a group of emails that are shocking to me, and display right on the face of it a number of federal crimes. And I'm even a lawyer.
Yeah.
So my lawyer went down there. He vetted him for 2 weeks, actually. And I emphasized to you how this is authenticated. First of all, I did and my lawyer did. Okay, you don't have to accept that. I gave them to the New York Post, and they held them for a week and authenticated them. I mean, I don't think the New York Post would publish them without being absolutely certain they're authentic. Finally, they don't even dispute that they're authentic, and I'll give you the best one of all. The big mouth lawyer made a very big mistake. Before this was even out, when it was just they were called about it, first thing he does is call that merchant, and he says, can I have my client's hard drive back? So he's basically admitting for his client, as his client's agent, that's Hunter Biden's hard drive. And if you would like to send a representative of your show to my office, I have to take a look at it. You tell me if it isn't authentic. It's authentic as hell. Some of those pictures on it can only have come from him. And I'll tell you why I know it for sure. I have about 10 pieces of confidential information nobody knows, except me and Hunter Biden. Kept it that way. You know, I investigated cases of 50 years. Every one of those hits the mark.
Rudy,
every one. In other words, I have an anonymous source. I'll give you an example. I have an anonymous source that reports on a meeting at the State Department, which would violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And Hunter Biden was taken in the back door and kept off the books. The gentleman who was involved in it and who told me about it had the date. I've had that for a year and a half. That very date shows up in his emails. There are 5 emails setting up that appointment, that date, that exact time. I've got 5 of those if anybody cares to examine it. They're not even disputing it. This is Hunter Biden's emails, texts, and really, the photographs will shock the hell out of you.
So, Rudy, for people at home...
photographs are disgusting, and they make him a national security risk for the United States of America.
Rudy.
Because every photograph I have, China has, plus a lot more. They reveal federal crimes, they reveal disgusting sexual behavior, and then they reveal sexual behavior, and then they reveal numerous times where he has totally gone on crack, which means he spent most of the last 5 years on crack. And who would pay this man $2,
right, Rudy,
much
let me
less
ask you
$10 million if he's a crack addict?
Rudy, let me ask you something, because the Washington Post is tying you to the Ukraine and to Russia, saying that you went on a trip to Ukraine in 2019, and U.S. intelligence agencies went to the White House to warn the president that whatever you come back with, whatever information
Robert O'Brien
exposing Biden and his son Hunter, just consider that to be contaminated material. What do you say about this?
Well, first of all, they never warned me of that, and I'm an American citizen. One would think if I were dealing with some kind of agent of this and that, someone would have warned me. No one did. I have never heard of that before. That means I think this may be another one of our, intelligence things, like holding Brennan's memo for 4 years, even though it was the Trump administration, that could have blown open the whole thing.
Right. Well, the Washington Post has 4 unnamed
sources. This is not a very friendly intelligence service. Of course it's unnamed. I'm never an unnamed source.
Well, is it true?
I've got 5 named sources for this.
Is it true, Rudy? Did you go to Ukraine to get information to expose
How do I know
Biden
if it's true? They never told me. Well, if you say it's true, it's true. I don't have no other knowledge of it but what you just told me. No one in the Trump administration warned me. No one in the intelligence community warned me. President didn't say that to me. This is the first time I'm hearing that.
Right.
And I have a pretty good idea where it's coming from. And these are people who are trying to tear down Donald Trump and destroy his presidency
and
from
Mr. Mayor,
inside the intelligence community, of which there are many.
And Mr. Mayor, what's next? Do you have anything in those emails tying Joe Biden to Hunter's international business?
You got to be kidding me. Sure. I have a memo that you know the memo that says 10% for the big guy?
Yeah.
We got to figure out who the big guy is. Okay.
Yep.
About a day later, Hunter is laying out the office he's going to share with the Chinese communists. He's going to share it with a Chinese communist intelligence agent. The first two keys he asked for is for Joe Biden and Jill Biden. I have that memo. What's he putting his father in that office for? If his father's not getting 10%, if his father's not the big guy. I'll give you another one. Hunter Biden is writing to his daughter and explaining to his daughter how unfair he's been treated all his life. And at the very end, he says, I've been supporting this family for 30 years. But unlike Pop, I'm not going to ask you to kick back half your salary. Now, what does that tell you? That explains the whole RICO scheme. The money goes to the Biden brother, James, the brother Frank, the sister-in-law, and most of it to Hunter. Hunter pays the expenses. That's why Joe has all those beautiful houses that the Washington Post has said, gee, how can he afford those houses? Right. I wonder. Because he's taking bribes, Washington Post. And his son is holding it for him. The son is paying for everything. The son has to kick back half to him. What the hell kind of family is that? And the son couldn't earn a penny. The son is a degenerate drug addict. I'm sorry. I feel bad for him. But you ask this question, why did Joe put his son in that position? A drug addict just thrown out of the Navy, in and out of rehab 6 times, taking drugs while he's in rehab. And he puts him in business with 4 of the most crooked people in the world.
Well,
now that's got to be stupidity or greed.
Mr. Mayor, you've made, you brought up a lot of allegations. We look forward to looking into them some more.
No, they're
no.
all in emails. Look at them.
No, I understand. Maybe we'll come over to your office. We'll all be socially distanced
And
from
you send somebody over, and they can go through the whole thing. And if there's 1 or 2 things I can release, I'll give it to him.
All right.
I got to call my source. He's been pretty easy on it.
So far, all right. Good enough. Rudy, thank you very much for joining us live.
Thanks, Rudy.
Thank you.
All right.